Shalom, family. All praises to the Most High, the Mashiach Yahweh. A few minutes early, I was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. There's plenty of daylight still outside, so it's still the new moon, 5th month. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, the Mashiach Yahweh. Yahweh Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahweh, whom the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. Ashar Kadash Shirak. Yes, it is still new moon, 5th month. It started sundown last night, so you know the new moon goes into sundown the next day. So we're still in the new moon. If you follow and co-sign to H.O.I's calendar and calculations, we're still in the new moon, 5th month. It'll close out in about another hour, hour and a half when it gets dark. Shalom, Sean Berry. Sean Berry, are you a brother or a sister? I don't want to misgender you, Salakia. I know there's women that's named Sean and there's men that's named Sean, S-E-A-N. All right, are you a brother or a sister? I'm just curious. I see you a lot on here. You're always supporting, so all praises. So Shalom, family. I haven't been live on YouTube in a while. I do apologize, family. There's other aspects of the work that got to be done behind the scenes and things of that nature. Of course, teaching is first and foremost, but I do apologize. I will try to get live on this channel more, and I will try to give updates more. Most I will. I just got to balance this crazy schedule out. All right, Brother Sean, Kwam Yashala. All right, Khan. I didn't mean no harm, brother. Hit the like button. We got 6 people in there. Let the likes match the viewers. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Get that algorithm and this channel going. So again, Ashar Kadash Rock. Happy New Brew Moon 5th month. Closing. All right, I'm coming to y'all. Khan, you got a loving spirit. No, that's all right. That's all right, brother. That is quite all right. Nothing wrong with that. That is quite all right. But yeah, tonight is the new moon. Well, it's closing out tonight when the sun goes down. So I didn't get a chance to go live last night due to some conflict in scheduling. So I'm coming live with y'all tonight, this evening, going into sundown. So it's still a new moon for about the next hour, hour and a half. So I'm going to close it out with y'all. Hello from London, Shalom from New York City. All right, so tonight is the new moon, 5th month again. But what we're going to do is got to block people early, Salakia, y'all. Got to block people off of here early. But what we're going to do before we get into the new moon, we're going to get a few scriptures for the new moon to close out. Tonight, I want to talk about, I'm going to give y'all some sensationalism, some entertainment. Israel, y'all know Elder always getting on y'all about the entertainment and the sensationalism that y'all love so much and the drama. But to balance out and be fair, it's also what's in the news. All right? So, the Nolan Wells. I want to talk about the Nolan Wells case a little bit. Everybody heard about it. You know what's going on, unless you've been under a rock. Nolan Wells, evidently, he's this 18-year-old brother down in Mississippi. He was celebrating the 4th of July. You lied. Down in Mississippi, and he was with about 15 Edomites, so-called white people, and he was the only, I believe he's a Judite. The jury is out. His pops, he got kind of a funny last name, but I believe the brother is so-called African-American or from the tribe of Judah, or he may be from one of the tribes, all right? Maybe Caribbean, I don't know. But Mississippi, more likely than not, he's Judah, although all of the tribes travel all around, so doesn't necessarily have to be. But he's a so-called black man. I believe he's an Israelite. Believe he's from either Judah or one of the tribes, I believe. I would be shocked if he's a Hamite or anything else. But for argument's sake, I believe the brother's a Judite. So evidently July 4th. And see, this is why we tell our people, you should have been nowhere near celebrating the 4th of July with the so-called white man on his 250th semi-quincentennial celebration. America's 250th bloody birthday. All right, 1776 to 2026. 250 years of rape, robbery, murder, assault, destruction, slavery, and pure evil and bloodshed, especially on the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You should have been nowhere near celebrating the 4th of July with this country, especially with 15 Edomites, 15 so-called white people. So evidently this brother was hanging out. They took a boat off to an island known as Horn Island, off of the Gulf Coast or whatever, allegedly where teenagers and people go to hang out. Allegedly there's nothing on this island. It's just a raw island. I guess you go out there to just get buck wild because there's nothing on this island. And they went out there, and the word is that these Edomites claim he left, and they don't know where he went. He said he'll get back to the mainland on his own, so they just left. 2 days later, they find his body washed up on the shore. All right, Monday, July 6th, they found his body from him hanging out with them July 4th. The word is he was talking to some young white girl or whatever. He was supposed to go get up with her. All right. We are the real Jews and Israelites according to the Bible. All right. Let me get to y'all can ask questions later, but let me finish my point. So, Nolan, well, y'all know the story. It's all over. You know, you can go look up the articles. It's all over the place. I think the latest update was that he was supposed to be going to meet with this young white girl, which they probably didn't like, and some kind of argument or disagreement broke out. And now they're saying there's evidence showing that he was beat with a metal pipe. He was beat with a metal pipe and his body was thrown into the water. Or whatever the update is. Y'all could post up whatever the updates are, whatever. That's the last thing I heard. And that his phone was taken, his Snapchat, his text messages, everything was erased and edited, and nobody could find his cell phone. Now, soon as his body was discovered, all of these so-called white boys, y'all heard the story. They all went and retained attorneys, and the media, for the most part, is protecting their identity. The media is protecting their identity. Right? So the case is just all over the place. But if I be a betting man, Nolan Wells was murdered by them young white supremacists, and his body was dumped in that water. All right, and they got a private autopsy. They took his body out of Mississippi, which was a good move by the family. Colin Kaepernick is paying for the autopsy. I think Tyler Perry is paying for the funeral. And a couple other celebrities are donating so that the family can have what they need. Yeah, these stories are very spooky. But we told y'all, stay the hell away from these so-called white. You should not be. Don't hang with these devils at all. If you got to work with them, if you got to do business, if you got to be cordial, if you got to have a business lunch or whatever, but keep it professional and cordial. Only deal with them on a professional level and be out. I don't care if you hanging with them one-on-one. I don't care if you, Shalom King, I don't care if you hanging with them one-on-one. Don't hang with these so-called white people. Leave them alone. And we're going to get a few scriptures on that. All these stories are spooky. Look at a brother, I believe in Pennsylvania. I believe he was a Jamaican brother. He went, I had a list of all these different stories, but you know, y'all can look them all up. He went hunting with these so-called white people. They shot him, said it was an accident, dead, gone. What about Ashley Janae? I forgot about Ashley Janae. even though she was planning on marrying a so-called white man, which is against the law, statutes, and commandments. But what happened? She went to Tanzania with her white fiance and got lynched. All right? What happened to the sister down in Georgia? She went to a sleepover party. She was the only so-called black woman there with a whole bunch of white women and their husbands. Or I think their husbands came home later. They said she got drunk and fell off the second floor balcony and died. Only so-called black woman with all these white women in Georgia. I can go on and on. What about the brother some years back that went to Greece with his white friends? He was the only black guy in a white bar talking to a white woman. He was all up in a white woman's ear, and they beat him to death. And the white people he came there with didn't help him. And the stories can go on and on. So y'all better wake up, man. Our people, you so-called black, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indians, you better wake up. Hit the like button, subscribe, share. Y'all better wake up. We living in some serious times. And this is not the only thing that's happening. What happened to Carmelo Anthony? Y'all don't talk about that no more. What happened to Rick Chow? All right, Cyrus Belton. And the list goes on and on. The brother that got hung, I believe the Caribbean brother that got hung down in Georgia, and they said it was a suicide. They found another brother hanging somewhere, H.O.I. Detroit in the building, Kwame Shada. They found another brother hanging somewhere, and the media's covering that up. They said it was a suicide, cover, no major media coverage. And on and on and on and on. What about the young 1-year-old brother in Mississippi that was shot by the police? And the list goes on and on. What about our people killing each other every day? A lot of you say, oh, that's just a deflection because you know, these devils, these white supremacist cops and these white supremacists got to stop killing. We should be just as mad when we killing each other. What about that? And I don't give a damn who don't like it. I don't care who don't like it. Shalom. Right? Captain Kasaj in the building. H.O.I. Philly. All right? I don't care who don't like it. We should be just as mad with... Do you know they found a sister in Chicago burnt up in a dumpster? I don't know who the hell killed her. So... a lot of y'all get mad, like when a Carmelo Anthony case happened. Yeah, brother, yeah. There was a classroom where a white teacher hung a black baby doll, and she got a GoFundMe. What about Daniel Penny that choked the brother to death on the train in New York? And niggas stood around and didn't do nothing. They ain't even get Daniel Penny up off the brother. And we can go on and on and on. Y'all got selective outrage. I told y'all. I wasn't trying to be negative. I was being real. I said by July 4th, y'all going to stop talking about Carmelo Anthony and it's going to be on to the next one. And that was prophetic. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that was prophetic. You know why? Because Nolan Wells went missing on July 4th. And July 6th, his body was found, and he became the new top story. Y'all, no more Carmelo Anthony. Right? I told y'all. I said by July 4th, that was prophetic. Right? Kasaja, we got to make another video. Elder Zabak prophesies they're going to forget Carmelo Anthony by July 4th. Nah, no folly. And I'm not laughing at the oppression of our people, all right? Even the Most High said at destruction and death, we going to laugh. But on an individual level, it's judgment of the Most High. There's nothing we can do about that. A lot of these Negroes that got put to death, they was or something happened to them, they was out there celebrating that 4th of July. They was out there celebrating America's 250th birthday. You should have been somewhere in your house reading your Bible with nothing to do with these celebrations. So it's just you out there on that, yeah, we turning up for America's birthday. With a bunch of damn white boys on a damn boat on well, I ain't going to say a deserted island. Shalom, sons of David, Israelites. Call me a shalom, sons of David in the building. Deuteronomy 32:39, kind. All right, we're going to get some scriptures in there. I don't mean to ramble on, but I just want to set up the premise of what I'm bringing out. All right, so this whole Nolan Wells thing, the reason why I piqued my interest, because a lot of times I don't just hop on the sensationalism, but I do hop on it because we're going to talk about it in camp, current events, things of that nature, and lessons, whatever. But a lot of our people, even y'all in the truth, you just run with the latest hype. Guess what? Next week is going to be another incident. It's going to be another name. You're going to forget about Nolan Wells. Not literally, but you know, because some people still talk about Carmelo Anthony. They still talk about Belton. But I'm saying it's continue. It's continue. The scriptures say, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Matter of fact, let's start with that. All right, let's get into some script. Let me stop. Let me get these scripts running here. Let's go to Ezekiel. Let's go to the classic. Ezekiel 35. That's where the Lord said this. We're going to start at 1, and then we're going to jump down. Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Mount Seir represents Esau, the so-called white man. One of their capital cities was Mount Seir in the ancient time. When it says Mount Seir, meaning spiritually, wherever the so-called white man is at, his kingdom, a mountain represents a kingdom in the Bible. So the Lord said, set your face against Mount Seir, one of Esau's ancient dwelling places, but spiritually is the so-called white man today, his mountain. Set our face against his government and prophesy against it. Right? Remember in 2nd Ezra, the Lord said the lion would rebuke the eagle. The lion represents Yahweh and the servants of the Lord, because the servants of the Most High are the mouthpiece of Yahweh. The lion represents Esau and his kingdom. The so-called white man is symbolic, the eagle. The lion represents Yahweh and the servants of the Lord, the servants of Yahweh. And the eagle represents Esau and his kingdom. It tells you in 2nd Ezra 11:12 that the lion would rebuke the eagle. We got to go out and tell the so-called white man he's the devil that the Bible speaks of, and he's been evil to our people, and the Lord is going to judge him. Whether you like it, understand it, believe it or not. Whether he like it, the other nations like it, you sell out Negroes like it, understand it, believe it or not. That's our job. Set our face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. All right. Seed of David, Israel in the building. Shalom. All right. Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. That's why it's going to be a Carmelo. It's going to be a Nolan Wells. It's going to be another one and another one. It's going to be an Ashley Janae. Look at it. The Edomite, I think, in Ohio. The Edomite in Ohio just got convicted. He met a black woman on the internet. They met up at a bar. She went home with him and ended up chopped up in pieces. And I'm surprised they convicted him for it. All right, I'm surprised they convicted him for it. Yeah, I see the animals. The bison attacked. I seen a bison attack the Edomite man at the campsite the other day. He has all kinds of judgment and prophecy out here. But I'm dealing with our people now, because they have had a perpetual hatred and have shed the blood of the children of Israel. So it'll be a Cyrus Belton. It'll be a Carmelo Anthony. Then it'll be a Nolan Wells. Then it'll be another one and another one and another one. Yeah, the camp video with shout out to Watchmen for Israel and Sons of David. The 9th annual 4th of July rebuke was a success. It was beautiful. The word went out great. We didn't have our normal crowd as we would, because they wouldn't let us anywhere near the White House where the bigger crowds be. Because we know y'all like the crowd. Y'all like to see us go back and forth with the people. Y'all love a good show. But the word still went out good. All praises. Kwame Yashala. I'm just messing with y'all, but y'all do like a good show. But yeah, we didn't have the crowd this year because everything was blocked off. But we got as close as we could to the White House, and the word went out, and judgment happened all over the place. While we was out there teaching, the damn Brooklyn Bridge was on fire in New York. Right? While we was out there, a damn lightning rainbow damn near struck the Empire, the Statue of Liberty. All right, so Kwame Inshallah. All right, you say stupid comments, play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. All right. Don't come up here with folly because you'll get blocked. But anyway, Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end, meaning these last days. The so-called white man, he's going to come down with great wrath because he know he got a short time. We're living in the last days of his empire. All right? So it's going to go on and on. But now, I wanted to explore a different theory and put my tinfoil hat on, right? Put my tinfoil hat on. I got a little tin on my shield on my head. I was just thinking, I was looking at Nolan Wells, and I kept looking at the picture of him and the Edomites, and I don't know, maybe the elders of conspiracy is going into the conspiracy theory world. I'm putting the tinfoil hat on. Shalom Amiyan. But looking at Nolan Wells, and that I keep looking at that picture of him on a boat with the 3 Edomites. Was it 3 or 4 Edomites sitting next to him? It was 3 or 4. It just took me to Carmelo Anthony. I don't know. Is the elder tripping, y'all? I started to think, was Nolan Wells a sacrifice and a get back for Carmelo Anthony? Even though Carmelo Anthony got convicted and 35 years, these white supremacists don't like to take no L's. Because they said they was his buddy. He hung out with them before. They were so cool. Now, all of a sudden, where did this argument, this heated argument come from? And the word is they beat him with a metal pipe and threw his body in the water. That's the last report I heard. I don't know. Daniel Irvin. Yeah, I heard about that one too. I didn't get a chance. To look into that one. But y'all see, don't Nolan Wells kind of put y'all y'all gonna say the elder, everything in the conspiracy, elder, these Edomites are just racist, but Nolan Wells kind of put me in the mind of Carmelo, and they kind of almost look alike. And I'm not being like the racist so-called white man. All these niggas look the same. No. I'm just saying, was that a get back because they were so hurt that Carmelo Anthony plunged that damn knife into Metcalf's chest, but Carmelo Anthony is still alive. He got 35 years, and they got this dream team of lawyers now together for him that's trying to get him out on an appeal. So to the white supremacists, wait a minute, he still killed a young racist. The Metcalfs are damn racist as hell. That's why the father had a gag order on him, because the judge didn't want him to speak, because everybody would have saw, yes, there was some little ass racists, and Carmelo felt his life was in danger, so he plunged that damn knife in his chest. Right? Yeah, they said, I heard that too, Sister Priscilla. I heard that too. They said they beat him to death and urinated on him. So am I bugging out, y'all? Was that get back for Carmelo Anthony? Because the parents said, you know, they always told him to be careful. They said he was very loving, and they always told him to be careful. You know, because when you good like that, you know, when you're a good-hearted person, you can't be good-hearted around a bunch of Edomites. But a lot of our people don't know that. They think I got white friends. They might grow up in a certain area or a place that's a little bit more financially well off, where they're going to be around white people in the other nations. They go to school with them. Am I bugging out, brother Seed of David Israel? He resemble Carlo? When I look at the picture of him, Nolan Wells, and the white boys on the boat, I see Carmelo Anthony and the Metcalf brothers. Is Elder bugging out? Let's go to Zechariah 11. Elder not bugging out, am I? Huh? I don't know. It could just be a coincidence. Am I bugging out? Or if I'm not bugging out, give me a con 777, y'all. Hit the like button. Get them likes up. Get them likes up to match the views. Let's go to Zechariah 11 and 4. This is why we got to teach our people. And we're going to hit these scripts on what the Lord said concerning this. Zechariah 11 and 4. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, feed the flock of the slaughter. We, Israel, we are the flock of the slaughter. Let's prove that. Let's go to Matthew's real quick. Matthew's 11. Let's link that up. Let's get a precept to match that. Why are we the flock of the slaughter? We're going to show you that. Let's go to Matthew's 11 and 12. Let's precept that with Matthew's 11 and 12. All right. Check out what Yahweh said. Matthew's Salakia. Matthew's 11 and 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. Who's the kingdom of heaven? The Israelites. All right. An actual kingdom can't suffer violence. Well, a kingdom can suffer violence because you can destroy the land or whatever, bomb it. But he's talking about a people here. It says, from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. All right. We're not even talking about that. Drew Seder. Hold your comment. If you got a disagreement or a comment or question, hold it. Let me get through my main point. All right. Shalom. H.O.I. Memphis in the building. Right. Heaven sent. And the violent take it by force. Who's the kingdom of heaven? The Israelites. Who's the violent? Esau and the other nations. And we suffered violence all throughout the different captivities. And during the Yahweh, we suffered violence under the Romans. We suffered violence in 70 AD. We suffered violence in our different, I'm going to block you, Jew Seder, if you don't stop. We're not talking about that right now. You people are dumb and stupid as hell. Learn to stay on topic. And then, hey, when you finish, can I ask the question or I disagree with your stance? Don't type something that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. All right. Now, if you don't cut it out, I'm going to block you off this channel. You can watch and you can ask questions later, or you can, if you want to debate or you have a different doctrine, you can do it later when I finish the main lesson. One more time and you block from this channel, Jew Seder. We're not talking about that right now, you damn idiot. What's wrong with you people? Stay on topic. But anyway, back to our regular scheduled programming. Now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. So who's the kingdom of heaven? The Israelites. And all the nations have been violent to us throughout history. So that's what it means when it said, feed the flock of the slaughter. Right? Let me read on. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. All them Edomites in the Nolan Well case. Salakia, y'all, I don't want to go out the spirit, but people come up here simple as hell, man. I never seen grown people that don't know how to, read and hear what's going on, comprehend what's going on, and say, hey, when you finish, I would like to ask a question or make a statement. But anyway, back to our regular scheduled programming, right? Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. All them Edomites, OG in the building, Kwame Shalom. All them Edomites that killed, I'm going to say killed, unalived, whatever, you don't want to get a strike, whatever. Nolan Wells, it said they all retained, once they found his body, they all retained attorneys. And I think one of them, their father's a judge. So this is suspicious all across the board. Is this get back for Carmelo Anthony? Brother Nolan, Nolan Wells, he kind of favor Carmelo Anthony. All right? And no, all Negroes, we're not saying all Negroes look alike. But anyway, no folly. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Now here come Benjamin Crump, here come Al Sharpton, the usual suspects. And a lot of times, the only time they really get involved is when it's going to be a civil suit. All right, SOT in the building. Kwame Shalom, y'all. The only time they're going to get involved is when there's a civil suit. It's going to be some money. And a lot of times, Crump and Sharpton, you know, they're there to kind of calm. How many of y'all remember Sean Bell? Remember the 50 shots? Sean Bell? The brother was the night before his wedding. He went to that dirty-ass strip club in Queens. And the NYPD shot and killed them. All right, they shot 50 shots. And Sean Bell got killed. I think it was, I forget what year it was. His wife, Nicole Bell, she came on Larry King, I believe with Al Sharpton, and she was like, no, I'm not upset. I just want justice. Whenever them Negroes get involved, it's to calm our people down and say, hey, we're going to get you some money, but that money can't bring back your loved one. We're going to do a civil suit. Whenever you see that Crump, whenever you see that Sharpton, they come in to calm things down. They work for master. All right, they might look like they out for our people, but they calm down. We're going to get some money out this deal. All right. I mean, Sister Nicole Bell, she got up there 2006, I think was Sean Bell. Yeah, it was November 2006. By Christmas time, Negroes forgot about Sean Bell. But Sharpton came up there with her and Larry King, and she was, no, I'm not angry enough that I just want justice. I mean, damn, sis, you should have been hell yeah. I want them wicked, evil cops to rot in hell for killing my husband. So this been going on. All right, our possessors slay us and hold themselves not guilty. Why did they retain lawyers and they're not talking and they're not even saying, most of them Edomites, if not all of them, they're not even saying their name in the media. At least I didn't hear them. If their names are leaking out or whatever, then hey, I didn't hear them. I didn't see everything concerning the case. But from what I saw, they got lawyers and zip, they not talking nothing. So we never know. It could just be good old white supremacy. You hang out with a group. The stories are endless. You hang out with a group of Edomites and you end up dead. But I'm like, they say, yeah, we're going to get them out there with us. And he's going to be a proxy. He's going to be a proxy for Carmelo Anthony. I don't know, y'all. It's just a theory. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy 7:3. But now, see, this is why the Lord told us to stay the hell away from our enemies, man. This is why the Lord told us in the law. Deuteronomy 7:3. And says, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. See, a lot of times, these Edomites, especially the Edomite men, they're jealous of the so-called black man because they white women want our brothers. They all, like how Jake said, they all on my body. They're very jealous of the sexual prowess of the so-called black man. We're not going to stereotype, but it is what it is. That's why they used to chop off our private parts during slavery and put them in jars and preserve them and all kinds of. The so-called white man's a freak, man. They was obsessed with the sexual prowess of the so-called black man. So a lot of times that caused that jealousy, and they said Nolan Wells, he probably had him a couple of them little young white girls, and they probably didn't like that. But evidently it was some kind of argument, and they claim they beat the brother to death. I did hear that they urinated on him, and they threw his body in that water. Right? So, you know, it's going to come out. And they got his body out of Mississippi. They sent it to Washington, D.C., and Colin Kaepernick is paying for an independent autopsy. And they had to get the body out of Mississippi because they said there's 2 races down there. They can't trust the autopsy. So they sent it to Washington to get an independent autopsy. But I don't know. This could be some kind of get back. right? Solitude is bliss, is 2026 race baiting is whack. Well, then you must be whack because you're not looking at what's going on in society. A lot of you that's in fantasy land. Oh, we live in a post-racial America, right? I forgot about that. Give me a break, man. You guys are in La La Land, right? Deuteronomy 7:3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. And that even happened. That even happened with Solomon. Then Solomon go off. He start giving in to his heathen wives, and he start building shrines to their gods, and the Lord punished them and put them to death. So that can happen. And these are Hamite nations in Deuteronomy 7. Brothers try to use this to say the only nations we can't deal with or be around are Hamites. No. Because in 1 Kings 11, the Lord mentioned Edomites, Zidonians, or whatever. And the reason why is because even though Solomon had concubines, but the Lord used Solomon as an example. See, you can fall to these heathen wives and their gods. He used Solomon as an example. But he lists all the nations in 1 Kings 11. So the Lord says, stay away from them. Don't make marriages with them. Don't befriend them. Let's go to Acts 10:28. Let's see what Peter told Cornelius, which was a Gentile, non-Israelite. That's a very controversial topic in Israel. A lot of brothers believe the more popular teaching is that Cornelius was an Israelite from the northern kingdom. But you know, we have a different understanding because it wouldn't make sense what Peter is going to say right here. Acts 10:28. And he said unto them, you know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. Why? Because we didn't deal with the natural Gentile. We didn't deal with them. Everything was for Israel. Now, if a heathen wanted to come unto us and cleave, they had to bow down and keep the commandments, and they had to be treated like a stranger, a non-Israelite. But they had to come to us and bow to us. We didn't go out our way to them. So Peter is saying, look, it's not lawful for a Jew to keep company or to come under one of another nation. Where's the law? We just read it in Deuteronomy. The Lord said don't seek their peace or their wealth or anything. Right? So, Salakia. But the Most High have showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean. He was just telling Peter that, look, I'm going to even make the heathens bow down to me. I'm going to make the other nations even bow down and want to serve the God of Israel. That's all he said. It doesn't mean Cornelius is a Israelite from a different tribe. Well, that's at least the way we see it. Because it wouldn't make sense for Peter to say, I can't keep company with you. Brothers say something about the Pharisees had a law where they did, I don't know. But the Pharisee law is not the Torah. That's a man-made law. So why would Peter tell an Israelite, a just Israelite that wanted to repent and keep the commandments from a different tribe, is unlawful to keep company with you? But my point being, where was Peter quoting from? He was quoting from the law, from the Torah, because we had laws we didn't deal with the other nations. And if they came amongst us, they had to bow down and serve us as strangers, natural strangers, not a foreign Israelite, not an Israelite stranger, but a natural stranger. But that's for another lesson. I'm just showing you we don't keep company. The Lord gave us laws not to keep company with these other nations, not to marry into them and seek their peace or their wealth. Now, in this kingdom, you might have to do business. You might have to work with them. You might have to even have like a business lunch or dinner with Edomites and other nations. But the Lord said what? Be subject to the higher powers. Render unto Caesar what's Caesar's, and render unto the Most High what is the Most High's. So we had laws. The Lord told us to stay the hell away from our enemies. Right? Wells was a sacrifice for the left side. Yeah. They said these Negroes doing too much, man. These Negroes are fighting back. You got black women shooting white men, defending themselves down in Florida. Shout out to that sister. I'm still trying to get her name. You know when the sisters start rising up. I went into that on the 4th of July camp, showing Judith and Esther and the women and the women that fought against the heathen in the scriptures. And the sister in the Maccabees with her 7 sons. We have warrior sisters. So these devils are like, what? We got Carmelo Negroes plunging knives into young racist white boys, trying to jump them and throw them out of a tent. Black women shooting white men for trying to approach them over a parking spot. And she didn't shoot that Edomite over a parking spot. She shot his ass because he was approaching her, and she kept telling him to back up. And Florida has a stand your ground law. So that sister clapped that damn devil because he wouldn't back up. And they said, all right, we're going to take little Nolan with us. Come on down to Iron Horn Island with us. And you ain't coming back, Negro. We need revenge. The white supremacists are taking too many L's. We need revenge. All right? But the Lord told you to stay away from these nations. All right, let's go to Sirach 12 and 10. Sirach 12 and 10 in the Apocrypha. All right. Oh, yeah, they got to come out. These got to come out. All right. Sirach 12 and 10. And it reads thus and so. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. The so-called white race is our enemies by nature. We were fighting in the womb. All right, remember, go back to Genesis. When Rebecca was pregnant with the fraternal twins in her womb, what happened? Esau and Jacob was fighting in the womb. That was symbolic to the struggle that we would have with the so-called white man throughout all history. We would never get along. We would always be at odds. I don't care how much you work with them, go to school with them. They say they want to be your friend. Oh, come on, I'm not racist. You can hang out with me. That struggle in the womb was symbolic to we would never get along. Stay the hell away from them. All right, reading on. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rusts have not been altogether wiped away. All right. Come on, man. Come on. Dude, we're not racist, man. Come on, man. We hang out with black people all the time. But you the only Negro with them. You the only Negro with them. No. The Lord said, though they humble themselves and go crouching. I am not racist. I'm not like that. That sister in Georgia. She went to that sleepover with all them white women. All right? All them white women. Soccer moms. Suburban moms. Oh, we just having a sleepover. You don't know what the hell. Them white women probably got drunk and threw that sister off that 2nd floor balcony. You never know. So stay the hell away. The Lord told us to stay away. The Most High told us to stay the hell away from our enemies, man. All right? Reading on. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. And overthrown, literally, no pun intended. They beat that brother, threw him in the water. They probably drowned him, tortured him. You know, stuck his head in the water and you know, probably did all kinds of stuff to that brother. Stuck his head in the water almost till he stopped breathing and brought it up. You know, like they do, like the CIA do with that waterboarding. They cover your face and they pour water off you till you feel like you're going to drown, and then they stop. They get you right to the point where you think you're going to drown, and then they stop. They probably did all that to Brother Nolan, man. Right? They literally overthrew him into that water. All right? He stand in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Look at all the black inventions. Look at George Washington Carver, all the things he invented from the peanut that the so-called white man stole from him. Skippy peanut butter? Skippy peanut butter was actually stolen from George Washington Carver by a so-called white man. And they developed a peanut butter company and made millions of dollars off it. Right? Yeah, it's case after case, brother. And there's a lot of stuff they not talking about. That's why I'm not trying to be mean-spirited, but I'll be like, you going to, by July 4th, you ain't going to remember Carmelo Anthony's name. Because it's going to be another case and another one and another one. Then there's a whole bunch of cases they not talking about. They might be, I'm gonna go as far as to say they might be talking about Nolan Wells so much because they want to rub it in your face. This whole thing might have been planned and set up. As a get back, on America's 250th birthday, we're going to sacrifice a young Negro, 18-year-old Negro, for revenge for Carmelo Anthony and the Metcalf boy that got killed, and just as a 250-year sacrifice for America. You never know. I know I'm putting my tinfoil hat on, but it's case after case after case after case. Look at a brother in Compton. The brother Eric Washington, he was a community activist. Now, they claim he got killed in gang violence, which I could believe that. They simple as hell with that gang banging out in Cali, man. That thing make me want to vomit, man. That gang banging spirit out there is so goddamn ignorant. And that thing is a damn lifestyle to them. They live and breathe that damn thing. But I had another theory too. I put up a comment on Instagram. And I said, hey, how you know that thing wasn't set up to get rid of that brother Eric Washington? Because he was a major community activist that was trying to actually clean up the gangs and stop the gangs. But the rumor had it he was still claiming a hood. They say he was still claiming a hood. Right? They say he was still claiming. I don't know. But I put on a comment, boy, you never know. And that, I'm telling you, man, that shout out to my West Coast brothers and sisters in LA, but that gangbanging culture is disgusting, man. Some of the Negroes was on the comment board getting mad at me, getting kind of disrespectful, and saying, oh, it ain't a conspiracy. You don't know what the hell you talking about. But it was most of the people was agreeing with me. Or some people was like, yo, you could. Yo, I was thinking something like that, man. What if all that was a setup to really target that brother because he was doing so much great work for the community? The government does that. Do you know there's a lot of ex-gangbangers in LA? I did research on this years ago. Do you know there's a lot of ex-gangbangers in LA that they started to do community work and try to help clean up the gangs, and they just got shot and killed out of nowhere? Why would somebody want to kill them if they're working to help the community? You know, I'm a little bit of conspiracy theorist here. But some of the, just about 85% of the people was supporting me. I got like my comment got like over 1,000 likes. But it was that little remnant. Oh, shut up. You don't know nothing. Because they're very funny in LA. Like they feel like if you're not from there, you don't have a right to speak on nothing out there. They're very territorial with that gang stuff and this my hood and, oh, you from New York. You don't know what you talking about. So, hold on. We're not talking about vocab right now, brother. So some of the people was like, oh, there ain't no conspiracy. It's just gang violence. Yes, that could be. But the CIA could have took one of them young gangbangers and zonked their ass under mind control. You never know. We need to get rid of this nigga. He trying to clean the gangs up. He trying to clean up you just never know. Or it might have just been some young, wild, they saw the ops and they got into a shootout. The brother got caught in the crossfire. It can happen. But my point being, there's enough. We should be angry about that. They killed the brother that was an activist, and that was our own. It just goes on and on. Then another brother a brother from out there in Compton, he does commentary. He's an ex-gangbanger, but I forget the name of his YouTube channel. He brought up like 6 or 7 other shootings and killings that happened in Compton. He was like, y'all not talking about these? He brought up a little young Issachar brother, 12-year-old Issachar brother. They ran up on him and shot him in the park. He wasn't banging on nothing. 12 years old. Some little niglet ran up to him and shot him and killed him in the park. There was a pastor. There was a 62-year-old Judite pastor. He was going to a store. Somebody ran up on him and shot him. Who's he banging on? You know, even though, you know, the Most High might have judged them for teaching that stuff in the church, but I'm just saying in general. There was a sister in Compton got shot up and killed. So the brother was just saying, yo, what about all these cases? Okay, we understand this brother was an activist and he was well liked and loved in the community, but what do we need to be angry? We need to be focused. What about all these victims? You know, speak out for them too. We got to be angry about all this wickedness that's happening to us by our own hands and the other nations. All right, but let me read on. And Esau and the other nations. All right, verse 13. Sirach 12:13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. See, what's the underlying theme in all these killings? When our people that be around nothing but a group of so-called white people, when they mysteriously die, you never hear from the Edomites no more. They're not going to tarry. They disappear. Oh, it's an investigation. It was a suicide. It was an accidental death. Oh, he drowned, whatever. And the Edomites are gone. They don't tarry. They don't try to step up and say, no, that was my friend. And it was an accident. I was there. I know it was not. They disappear. They lawyers tell them, be quiet. You know, we gonna do that white protection. We gonna get on code and don't say nothing. Because we know y'all killed them. It's a white thing. So they're not going to tarry for you. So the Lord says, stay the hell away from them, especially if you the monkey in the damn middle. That's all you become. When you, that one white boy, one white girl, that one Israelite man, Israelite girl, Black, Latino, Native American, around a bunch of so-called white people, you become the monkey in the middle, and that's how they're going to treat you. You become a damn mascot. And when you're a mascot, they don't look at you as a human. You're beneath the animal. And they can do whatever the hell they want with you. Kill you and just say it was an accidental death. We don't know what happened. Or some Edomites beat you to death, and the Edomite friends you came with, don't even help you. They don't even try to get the other Edomites off of you and call the cops or something just to save your life. None of that. So this is serious. All right? So we're gonna read on verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. Yeah, come on, Nolan, man. We're gonna have a blast. It's the 4th of July. Come on, man. Come on down. We're gonna go to Horn Island. We're going swimming, man. We're going to the beach, man. Come on, man. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. Literally. They threw that brother into the water, pit, or whatever they threw him. All right. All right. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. They probably pretended to be Nolan's friend, cried with him, wept with him when he went through stuff. Yo, man, Nolan, you're my guy, man. I'm here for you. But I'll kill your ass on the 4th of July. I'll unalive you on the 4th of July. Right? Yes. This 4th of July felt dead. Yeah, it was dead because it was a lot of death and judgment on the 4th of July. Right? So, reading on. It says, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Oh, Nolan said he was going to get back to the mainland on his own, so we just left him. All right, we just left Nolan because Nolan said he was going to get back to the mainland on his own. They undermined him. They act like they didn't know what happened because they killed that brother. All right. Now, there was even a rumor that he did leave from Horn Island with them. And they went somewhere else and killed him and brought his body back. I don't know. There's a lot of different stories and scenarios coming out. Yeah, they were friends for years. Oh, Nolan, man, you're a great guy. I love you, man. Who said whites and blacks can't get along? We're breaking the racial barriers. We're breaking the racial barriers. It's a post-racial America. Nolan's our good friend. But the 4th of July, we get mad, we get upset, an argument break out, or he done smashed one too many of our sisters. Nigga, you my friend, but don't be getting uppity. You sassing me? You sassing me, nigga? You think you're gonna have all these white women? Think you gonna have your way with our sisters? And that racism came out, and they offed that brother. All right. We need to start teaching our kids. We've been teaching our children to stop cleaving to these Edomites, brother. You know, my children don't hang out with Esau. All right. I can't even name a heathen friend that any of my children have. Even my older ones. Even my grown children. You know, your children get grown. I don't know if I want to still follow the Israelite thing, Dad. But you're not going to see them hanging with no Esau, no other Ham. You're not going to see them hanging with no other nations. So we've been teaching our children. We got to keep teaching them. Right? Reading on. He shall shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. All right. Let's go from there to Ecclesiasticus, the 8th chapter. We're going to stay in Sirach. Let's go to Sirach chapter 8. Sirach chapter 8, and we're going to get verse 15. All right. It says, travel not by the way with a bold fellow. Another thing about these Edomites, man, remember, tell you they're men of the field. All right. Esau is an adventurer. He's wild. He goes out there. All right. He, you know, Esau, a lot of times you Negroes, you go out there with the so-called white man, he wants to bungee jump off a damn mountain. And you try to crack your... Some of our people probably did die amongst these Edomites doing stupid stuff. Doing that show that used to come on, Jackass. Doing weird stunts and stuff with Esau. Because he's a bold fellow. He's a man of the field. Anything goes with Esau. So you got to watch back there. They thrive off of danger. They get an adrenaline rush off of danger and living on the edge. Remember Steve Irwin? He got stung by a stingray. But he used to always go out there with the crocodiles and putting his hand near their mouth. And Esau, he's always going around the lions and the tigers. Right? Remember Siegfried and Roy? One of them got attacked by the tigers in they animal show in Vegas. Esau got that danger spirit, man. Travel not by the way with a bold fellow. All right? It says, travel not by the way with a bold fellow. And Esau, these Edomites, when they get drunk, look at our brother. How can I forget? There's so many. Remember James Byrd Jr. down in Jasper, Texas? That brother asked for a ride. He asked the Edomites for a ride in a pickup truck. And they tied him to the back of the pickup truck and dragged his body. And guess what? Two of those Edomites, James Byrd was locked up with them and considered them. They said they was cool when they was locked up in jail together. So they said, hey, James, they knew him. They knew James. Two of them knew James Byrd Jr. I think the third one didn't know him. They dragged James Byrd Jr. for miles. That man's nose was here. His arm was there. His body parts was literally dragging off his body. They chained him to the back of the pickup and dragged him. They made a movie about it. It's called Jasper, Texas on HBO. So remember that? These three white guys, I'm hitchhiking. I know two of them from jail. They had, hey, James, you want a beer? And they tied him to the back of the truck and dragged his body. He thought these three Edomites was going to get, that was in 1998. And now here we got NOLAN Wells in 2026. And it goes on and on. All right. It says, travel not by the way with a bold fellow. Shalakia. If he become grievous unto thee, Shalakia, for he be become grievous unto thee, for he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly. See that? Travel not with these Edomites. Yeah, as soon as they get you off by yourself, they going for the kill. All right. Let me read on. It's like it's hard to see some of these words. It said, thou shalt perish with him through his folly. Strive not with an angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place. No, we should not have so-called white friends. Like I said, if you got to do business with them, be cordial with them, be on a professional level, because you got to survive and do things in his kingdom, keep it at that. But as far as going over to their house, going to their functions, no. If it's a company function with everybody, okay. Sometimes you got to go because they're like, oh, you work for the company, you got to show up. But that's it. All right, that's it. No more, no less. Do not do it. All right, Salakia. Reading on. Strive not with the angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place, for blood is as nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee. Gabar Ash just said it. Soon as they get you by yourself, they will kill. That's the scripture, right? Let me read that again. That's the scripture right there. Sirach 8:16. Strive not with an angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place. The so-called white man's an angry man. He hates us. He has a perpetual hatred, and a lot of times he hides his hatred. It tell you that in Proverbs. He hides his hatred. So it said, don't go with him to a solitary place, for blood is as nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee. It's scary, man. These scriptures come to life. Right? Yeah, that's why I had issue with the Gentile salvation doctrine. The whole Gentile salvation doctrine, I'm gonna tell you straight up. All the Gentile salvation doctrine, the confusion is that brothers are saying it as if the Gentiles got equal salvation with Israel. You have to draw that line. Salvation and rulership comes to Israel. The nations, they're going to bow down to us and serve our God through us. They don't have equal position with us. They don't have equal position with us. They're going to bow down to us. And because of the evil and the hatred that the Gentiles have towards us, yes, we got to keep them at a distance and gather Israel together. But the nations, when they see the power in these last days, they're going to try to cleave on and bow to Israel. Some of them want to try to come to this truth. They're already doing it. But you got to draw that line. The problem is coming in because brothers is saying that like they get some kind of position right next to Israel. No, their position is to serve us as our slaves, our servants, our underlings, with Israel having a salvation of rulership and complete rule over the earth and universe, with all the nations under us serving us. And they're going to have to serve the God of Israel because we're going to rule over them. That's it. No more, no less. And the scriptures say that. Even when brothers get into the all men and all that, yes, Israel first as the top and ruling nation, and the Gentiles under us as our servants, serving our God through us. Point blank, period. That don't mean no Edomite going to be sitting next to me at the Passover. Hey, buddy. Hey, pal. No. H.O.I. Detroit said that's a cold scripture. Yeah. Sirach 8, that's exactly what, that's the spirit. That's exactly what Gabar I said, and it manifests through the scriptures. I had that as one of my precepts. You can't make this up. Where there's no help, he will overthrow thee. NOLAN Wells had no help. There was nobody around. No other Negroes, nothing. Nobody helped them, protect them, nothing. He was the only Negro there with all these angry, drunk, high Edomites. And they probably say, you have one too many white girls. You have one too many of our little sisters, Nolan. Or whatever the hell they get. They said an argument broke out. And I think they said they heard something about Nolan was like, give me back my phone. He was saying something about give me back my phone. Maybe one of the Edomites was like, you got my sister too? My sister's texting you, telling you to come over tonight. You got her too? I don't know. I don't know what happened. Or they probably just said, we're going to kill us a Negro for the 4th of July. You never know. I don't know. These are just theories. They're doing an investigation or whatever's going to come out. I know new developments are coming every day. So, okay, Tyler Hands, bro. Okay, the Lord made a covenant with Jacob that shall last forever. Okay, brother, I don't really know what that has to do with the topic, but it's all good. The Most High is with Israel forever, Khan. They said they wanted him to, yeah, it's all kinds of stuff coming out. They wanted him to take some drugs and he wouldn't do it. Yeah, them Edomites, they probably was all stoned out. That's why the scriptures say travel not by the way with a bold fellow. Because Esau get on them drugs and he get emboldened. Look, nigga, take some. Come on, Nolan. Come on, man. It's the 4th of July. Come on, man. Let's get it together, man. Shalom, Tazadak Kabbalah. Come on, Nolan, man. Take these shrooms with us, man. Come on, take these Quaaludes, man. Come on. You only live once, man. YOLO. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff coming out. More stuff going to come out. Proverbs 22:24. Proverbs 22:24. We're just going to get a few and bring this out. Proverbs 22:24. Everybody with me? Give me a con 777. This is madness, man. This is pure madness. So, yeah, the sun is going down. The new moon is closing out. But I'm gonna get through these scriptures I got for this lesson and hit a closing new moon scripture. Come on, man. Yeah. And see, now even a brother out in Compton, the community activist, they said he was at a 4th of July party with over 300 people in the Wilmington Arms apartments. And I lived in Compton for 6 years. That was another thing. People on the comment board was like, you ain't from Compton, so you can't say nothing. I let all of them make their comments. I said, listen, I lived in Compton for 6 years. Now, I'm not from there. I'm not born and raised in that culture, the gang culture and the LA culture, but I did live there. I lived in Compton for 6 years. When I used to live on the West Coast, LA County. I never really lived in LA. I mainly lived in Compton and Long Beach, but they right there near LA. So I knew the vibe out there. I got to know, some of the stuff that was going on out there. But that's neither here nor there. People are simple, right? That's just that LA stuff, man. And you ain't from here. You can't speak on here, right? Which is totally ignorant. But tell a white man he can't speak on there. I bet you won't tell him that. NBC News will come right on your damn block and do the news report, and you won't dare tell them they can't speak on Compton. Our people only do that to each other. Ignorance. But anyway, right? Allegedly, this brother was at a 4th of July celebration. Over 300 people. And a lot of people said, listen, a 4th of July, that many people and those apartments are a known Crip neighborhood, I believe. And they said, listen, it's bound to be shooting out there. They said everybody was celebrating, the fireworks was going off, whatever. But that kind of crowd in Compton, in that hood, something is bound to jump off. So they got into this big shootout, and bro got killed. It might have not been a setup or a conspiracy, but guess what? All that hoopla, you know what one person said on the comment board? I can pull a comment up. I can screenshot it. One person said, listen, I believe he was intentionally targeted, and I got information on it. Inbox me. I inboxed the person. They never messaged me back. But somebody on the comment board did say that. But you got our simple people. You ain't from Compton. You can't speak on what happened. But then a lot of people was agreeing. It was like, nah. Even people from Compton was agreeing with me. They was like, nah, man, I think, yeah, the brother might have been targeted. You never know. It could have made to be look like a shootout, but you just never know. Like I said, man, the CIA would take one of them little Bloods or Crips, man, one of them little 19-year-old gangbangers, man, and they would zunk their ass under some mind control. You are going to kill him at this appointed time. You never know. I don't know. But anyway, when you look at it, yeah, it might have been get back. I don't know. It might have been just good old natural racism, but it might have been good get back. Proverbs 22 and 24. All right. It said, make no friendship with an angry man, and with the furious man thou shalt not go. Stay away from these so-called white people. They have secret anger and hatred towards us as the people. They will act like they not racist, but they are. Make no friendship with an angry man. Esau is spiritually angry with us from the time of him and Jacob. Remember, Jacob got the blessing from him. In his spirit, he's still mad about that. They hate us because they ain't us. So stay away from them. Don't be in no close proximity with the so-called white man or none of these heathens. Deal with them professionally, and that's it. All right, reading on, it says, make no friendship with an angry man, Proverbs 22:24. And with the furious man, thou shalt not go. Don't go nowhere with them, right? It says, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. Because a lot of our people, they get around the so-called white men in these other nations and start getting like them. They start getting like them. Then they start hating and come against their own people. And believe you me, we know how people can be off. We know that. Right? Yeah. They don't need much to kill us but a little fear, envy, anger, jealousy. Yeah. Brother Tazadak, yeah, that's on point. Yeah, Ezekiel 35:5. I started the lesson out with that. Get them likes up. Let the likes match the viewers. Let's go to Sirach 13 and 15. Sirach 13 and 15. Just a few precepts I put together. But I don't know. I got the 10-4 hat on, y'all. You know? 3 of your sons cut you off for their girlfriends. Yeah. Jake loved that pink meat, man. Jake brothers love that pink meat. Well, a lot of brothers complain they can't get along with the sisters. The sisters can't get along with the brothers. We got a gender war. That's why I've been going in on the classes about, you know, marriage and sticking together and what the man's supposed to do and what the woman's supposed to do, because we have a gender war. So, you know, yeah. They're going to deal with these other nations, all right? They're going to get that pink meat. You ain't going to stop them from getting that pink meat. Yeah. Sirach 13:15. It says, every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the godly. What agreement is there between a hyena and a dog, and what peace between the rich and the poor? As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. It said just like the wild donkey is the lion's prey, the rich eat up the poor. They prey on us, man. Remember the movie Surviving the Game? With Ice Cube, Ice-T. Even though they had Charles Dutton in there as one of the hunters, but the rest of them was all Edomites. Hunting Ice-T in the damn wild. Yeah, man, Surviving Again. Watch that movie if you never saw it. And guess what? That movie is based upon real facts where the CIA got a secret game called a Dangerous Game. I think they toyed with it a little bit in the Hunger Games. Yeah. There's a book called Transformation of America. And they go into that in there. How the dangerous surviving again. That movie is based upon Esau's a sick bastard, man. They'll take a homeless black man off the street and throw him out in the wilderness and hunt him. They'll take a brother like Nolan Wells to Horn Island and hunt him. All right, so reading on. It says, as the proud hate humility, so doeth the rich abhor the poor. And who's the rich? Esau. And the poor represents us. And it doesn't necessarily have to be financially. We are in a poor state because we're in captivity. Esau's in a rich state because he's ruling. This kingdom is his. It doesn't have to be the so-called financial status. Okay? It's poor in different areas. All right, let's go from there. And a lot of times, hell, you can't even be around all of your own people. Let's go on Esau and the other nations. There's a lot of Negroes you can't be around. Right? A lot of the 12 tribes you can't be around. The Lord said what? Let's go to Psalms 1:1. You got to be careful of the company you keep in these last days, period. This is what the Lord said in the Psalms. Psalms 1, starting off. Psalms 1:1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. We got to stay away from a lot of your own people in these last days, man. Sinners, ungodly people, people that are not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Let's link that up. Let's go to Sirach 37:12. Now these Negroes you can't be around in these last days. Some of them are damn near worse than Esau. Y'all seen a sister kill a other sister over some $15 eyelashes? Over damn deposit, a $15 deposit of some eyelashes? I forget what state city is in. And yes, we got to be just as mad and pissed off when we do it to each other. You got some of these black activists. Well, oh, that's a white supremacist talking point. When you say, what about the violence in Philly? What about you? Damn right. What about the violence in Chicago? They found a sister shot and burnt to death in a dumpster in Chicago. I don't know what the hell happened to that sister. And the Most High brought a harsh judgment on her. But hey, what's going on? This is happening to our people because they're not keeping the commandments of the Lord. I don't know who the hell eyelashes it was, brother, but I read on I saw on Instagram a sister. I was trying to pull an article up, but I was going through a tunnel. I couldn't get the service, so it wouldn't pull up. It said, I believe it was two sisters by the names, not the stereotype like Jaquita or something, but you know, I believe it sounded like it was so-called black women names. And one killed the other over a $15 deposit on some eyelashes. Some vain beauty that they probably didn't even need. Deal with the natural look that the Most High gave you. Eat right, exercise, drink water, proper diet, and your beauty will come out like that the Most High gave you. Right? Sirach 37:12. But be ye continually with a godly man, who thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Most High, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. Yeah. You got oh, that was Mobile, Alabama. Yeah, Mobile, they office hell down there too. Mobile, they be on the first 48 a lot. Just killing each other over madness. Just simple, country, slow, and just killing each other over stupidity. Yeah, I said it. They say country people are slow. I love me some country people, though. Not all of them. But every region have their off ways, man. New York is proud and arrogant and nasty. Everywhere, man. West Coast, they damn worship that damn gang stuff. Midwest, they emotional as hell. Everywhere. Every region got is off as hell. Because we under these curses. And every region share, you got that disgusting gang behavior that made it to New York now. And you got old school people like, what is this goofy ish going on? You niggas would have got smacked around in the 80s and told, get that gang nonsense out of here. Now that red and blue stuff is in New York now. Madness. So it's all over the place, man. The curses are everywhere. So the Lord said, even our own people, man. God, I can't conform to New York there. Now, New York is rude, nasty, no manners. You know, but it's my city, damn it. It's still my city. New York, like Jay-Z said. You see what happened at Jay-Z concert? They stampeded the concert. Not stampeded, but you know, they bombarded the concert and didn't have tickets. That's what the Lord said. Our people are a bunch of wild asses. They didn't have tickets and bombarded the damn concert. The Jay-Z concert in New York. You don't have tickets, nigga. Get out. Let the people that got their tickets come in. Just wild animal savages. Just think they gonna rush in the stadium and be able to see Jay-Z. And you ain't buy no ticket, Negro. So they're a bunch of damn wild heathens in New York. Well, like the people of the church say, he was a heathen. Because they act like heathens. They don't act like the children of the Lord. Yeah, he had them stand out there for 3 hours because they had to get the people out that rushed the stadium and let the people that had tickets come in. They say Yankee Stadium, old school bum rush, Miss Tina. They say Yankee Stadium dropped the ball on security. And they said the NYPD was sitting back laughing. Like, you niggas is animals anyway. But anyway, I'm just saying, you know, it's everywhere have awesome. I'm not picking on a particular region. But slow and simple down there in Mobile, Alabama, killing each other over some damn eyelashes. And like I said, they always on the first 48 killing each other. All right, let's go to Isaiah 13 and 11. Just a few more. Isaiah 13 and 11. Yeah, we'll get up off here soon. Isaiah 13 and 11. Just going to breeze through these real quick. So, yeah, may the brother Nolan Wells rest in peace. But listen, man, that got to be a learning lesson to our people. Brother was a soft target. The only Negro with about 15 so-called white boys on the 4th of July, going off to the secluded island. Nah, brother. Bad combination. You know, we read the scriptures that pinpoint that earlier. Don't travel by the way with a bold fellow. Don't go into a solitary place with them. Don't make no friendship with an angry man. These Edomites will smile in your face, but they hate your guts. They are extremely jealous of us. They hate us. Like Anthony J. Hilda, that Edomite that was like one of the main first conspiracy theorists that started revealing the Illuminati and everything. They said he said they, but he do too. They consider the black man the dung of the earth. The elites, the so-called white supremacists. So what you around them for? Nah, come on, Nolan, dude, man. It's America's birthday, man. Come on and hang out, man. Yeah, man. The parents said they just told him to be careful. But no. The parents, I believe the father's a Judite. The wife, they was trying to say the wife is Asian, but she talks like a sister. She might be mixed with something, but she sound like a sister. She got so-called black in her somewhere. You know, she sound like a sister. All right? So Isaiah 13 and 11. It said, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So the Lord said, as he's punishing the world, he's going to make the Israelite man like the most precious fine gold on the earth. All right, is a metaphor, but the Lord said that's how precious a righteous man that's keeping the commandments is going to be in the last days. Wi-Fi Los Angeles. Shalom, Elder Death to Babylon. Shower Paul half. You said half or what? Oh, she's half? Is she Eve or Moab? I don't know. Yeah, she looked mixed. But 13, Isaiah 13:13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one to his own land. We are not in a time to be around the enemy. We are not in a time to be around the enemy. Oh, you think she's Eve? Yeah, she talks like an Eve. She talks like an Eve. And she was very disrespectful to Benjamin Crump. If y'all saw, watch that Good Morning America interview they did with Michael Strahan. She was kept cutting Benjamin Crump off, talking over him. When Michael Strahan was directly asking Benjamin Crump questions, she cutting him off and talking over him. I'm like, yo, even Benjamin Crump caught it. And the husband, a lot of these jakes, man, they just let the woman run things, man. So, Elder's Prayer, Kwamisha. All right, it says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So you don't even want to be around these Edomites in these last days because of the judgment that's going to come to them. Here you in the way, and the Most High judging them. So not only can they be a danger to you, because you around them in a race war break off. They could turn on you, or wow, Jacob be like, yo, what you doing with these devils, man? And kill all of y'all. Oh yeah, that's going to happen. Most High got his remnant of men he going to raise up. He got his jakes in the cut ready for that race war. Oh, yeah. All right. It said their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. Yeah, and the race wars, vengeance going to come on them. We as the elect, Most High will if we of that number, the hopeful elect. But I'm saying it with confidence and hope. But those of us that are of the elect, no, you're going to be mainly teaching the word and still organizing the nation up until Yahushua come back. But these race wars and different stuff that break off, a lot of our people, man, they're going to be going buck wild on Esau and these other nations. The Most High going to raise up death angels, spirit, all that, man. Same thing they did to us is going to happen to them. Now, the elders, let me just say this as a footnote. The elders taught this in 1 West, but all right. Yeah, we'll get to that. But they wasn't really saying this because a brother took a clip of the elder Masha in 1 West speaking on this in a Times Square camp years ago. And the brother tried to use that to say the elders of 1 West taught you brothers to be PDFs and grapists. You see that? Evil ass dudes. That's why dudes are going through what they're going through now, for that slander and evil. But the elders didn't teach it like that. See, a lot of you need to shut the hell up because you wasn't exactly there. Don't go by what you heard or what you think was being brought out on some video from years ago, and you didn't even get the full context of what the elder was bringing out. That's why the Most High shut your damn mouth a week after that, and your ass better go clean up your backyard. I ain't going to say no names. I ain't going to go there, but if you know, you know. Shut your damn mouth and learn some respect. You wasn't there. The elders wasn't telling us we was going to be running around. We going to take our garments off and rape a white woman in the alley. No, they was more so talking about the race wars and when the chaos break out. The Most High going to have jakes. He going to have spirits that are created for vengeance. Dudes swear they know the scriptures so much you forgot these basic scriptures. There are spirits that are created for vengeance. The Lord said the remnant of Judah is going to go through like a lion. And when he tear through, no one going to be able to. The Lord going to have certain spirits out here to get vengeance on Esau and the other nations. The elders wasn't teaching us to be no PDFs and grapists, man. You proud, evil-ass dude, man. Repent. You took that clip and tried to use that and slander the elders, man. That's why the Most High shut your damn mouth a week later after that. You got jokes, seed of David, Israel. But I'm just making a point. That scripture in Isaiah 13:16, the elders in One West, they wasn't talking about we going to take off our garments after a Saturday night camp and run through a dark alley on 8th Avenue and 48th Street and hit a white woman in the head and drag her in the alley and then put our garment back on and go home. No. They was talking about when the chaos and the race wars and all that break out. So stop doing that, man. Don't do that. That's the context it was taught in. And the elder just said it like that. He said, we, meaning Israelites, because there's going to be a lot of judgment. Remember, the Most High going to use the Lord going to use some of the 2/3 for the dirty work. They got spirits that are created for vengeance. All right, so, put some respect on brothers' names, man. Stop doing that, man. Spinning narratives and stuff and just trying to make brothers sound so evil. The elders was teaching us to be PDFs and grapists. Yeah, but I don't want to do that because I'm not on that. You know what I'm saying? If it's that serious, I say it to their face. All right. That's it on that. Isaiah 13. Let's go to Proverbs 11:21. Classics. Proverbs 11:21. All right. It reads, Proverbs 11:21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. So this links with Isaiah a lot. You got to stay away from these Edomites and these other nations because their judgment is coming. Not only could they turn on you and you end up like Nolan Wells, you can get in the way of the Lord. Lord said, okay, you want to be amongst them? You want to be amongst them? You're going to get the judgment right along with them. You're going to get the judgment right. You're going to get dealt with right along with them. You want to be amongst them. So not only is a double-edged sword. What if the Most High decide to damn capsize that boat and drown all them Edomites? And allow Nolan to drown with them because he shouldn't have been amongst them. The Most High could have brought judgment on it. Remember them, y'all remember the other 4th of July? When them tornadoes, I think it was tornadoes that touched down in Texas and killed all them young Edomite Christians at that Christian camp thing down in Texas. Y'all remember that? It was on the 4th of July a couple of years, and we was out in D.C. after we was in rebuke in the White House. And the Most High brought storms through Texas, killed over 100 Edomites at that Christian camp. Yeah, I don't have nothing personal against any of my brothers, but don't do that, man. Don't lie and spin narratives and just try to make brothers look. Just teach your doctrine and build up Israel. Well, you gotta go out of your way just to slander and make other brothers look bad and twist narratives. When either that's what the elder was not saying, and you purposely gonna spin a narrative, or you don't know the context it was being taught in. So hey, I wasn't in the classes back then or whatever, so I'm not really going to speak on that because I don't know. Or ask, was y'all being taught? I said, nah, brother, that's not the context they was teaching it in. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. But we're not going to dwell on that, brother. I don't have to say the name. If it's that serious, I go to their grill. I don't know if it was 700, but it was the storms in Texas that they a couple of years ago on 4th of July. They killed on them. What if the Most High decided to bring judgment and your Negro behind is in the middle of them? Right? Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right, Shorty Black. It's time to unite. And like I said, I don't have nothing against. I don't have nothing against none of my. I don't hold no grudges, or I'm not angry at brothers. I'm a little angry at the behavior, but you know, I don't have nothing personal against brothers, and I'm not going to keep a grudge. If anything, I'll pray for them. And brothers, just stop that. You know, I'm from like, you know, some of us, we come from a certain background, certain clown behavior. Come on, bro. Don't do that. As men, you don't, even on some street-ish, and we not even know where we supposed to be righteous in Yahweh, bro. Don't move like that. Don't lie and spin narratives to make your own brothers look a certain way, brother. That's not the spirit of Yahweh. Just so you can make brothers look a certain way, so everybody can come to you and listen to your doctrine. You know, you got a slick agenda, but you don't have to do that, bro. Just teach. And whoever's meant to learn from you, they'll learn from you. That's all. It's the sucker behavior. That's what it is, man. Cut that out, brother. You ain't got to do that. Just do the work. All right. Proverbs 11:21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So you not going to stop. No, you try to make a post-racial America. See, blacks and whites can get along. We can be friends. Now, I know there's a million people in this country, millions of people in this country that would say, I got white friends. They never did nothing to me. I hung out with them for years, whatever. But you don't want to be that one exception. You don't want to get caught slipping. What did even Elijah Muhammad said? I think it was Elijah Muhammad. If I tell you that pit got 50 snakes in it that's poisonous and 50 snakes that's not, are you going to jump in that pit to try to figure out which one is which? You're going to stay the hell away from that whole pit. Because number one, all them snakes could still bite you. And there's 50 in there that's poisonous. As soon as they bite you, you're going to die. So either way, stay the hell away from that whole pit. That's how you got to look at Esau and these other nations. And the wicked of our people. The scriptures say, be ye continually with a godly man. All right, so the Lord said, don't hand join in hand. You don't want to be around these nations. You don't want to be, you got 2 Edomites written from you. Hey, that's business. That's different. You know, just don't go hunting with them. No folly. Facts. Shalom Daniela. Yeah, Muhammad Ali says something. Yeah. See, you got to understand something, right? The so-called white man, they're very cunning. So yeah, they're gonna present things like I was watching that movie, The Hurricane, right? The Hurricane with Denzel. And you see the brother that helped him spearhead to get out of jail. He had went with those Edomites. They moved him to Canada to help him learn how to read and get through college. And as far as we know, the Edomites didn't do nothing. So they got situations where our people been around Edom, been around Esau and was fine. So they got a million stories of that. Yeah, Hurricane, that was a good movie. But they got a million stories of that. It's not like it's not people that have been around Esau and the other nations and been fine. But you don't want to take that chance. You deal with them with business on a professional level. You don't be going off nowhere. We read it earlier. You don't be going to solitary places with them by yourself, with a whole group of them and it's just you. So I don't know. Was Nolan Wells a damn makeup, for lack of a better word, for Carmelo Anthony? They look a little bit alike to me. The whole vibe just seemed, it got the Carmelo Anthony vibe. Or it's just another case of just general white supremacists. You can't go amongst them by yourself. And you know what happens with that too? A lot of that come from too the division amongst our people. You know? That comes from a lot of that comes from the division. We have that hatred towards each other. I'm not saying that was Carmelo and his father and mother thought process, but a lot of times we think hanging around Esau and the other nations is better than hanging around our own people. Because of what? Our hatred towards each other. See, that's so it goes on and on. But let me read on. Let me get through this. Matthew 25:31. Matthew chapter 25 and verse 31. So y'all gotta understand, man, this thing is serious. I was just thinking, it's just something that came to my spirit. Don't say, elder, you too much in the conspiracy, you thinking too much into it. It's just, at the end of the day, the brother's dead, and more likely than not, them Edomites killed him. That's it. But I'm like, yo, this, I don't know, this is just crazy. This is not adding up. Or the timing, or they still mad about Carmelo Anthony. Matthew 25:31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. Now the sheep represents, you can read down, but right to the point, the sheep represents Israel. The goats represent Esau and the other nations. The scriptures say we're going to separate. All right, so some white guy online made a joke saying, y'all can't stab water. God. There's the notion amongst our people that we can't swim. Right? There's a notion that we can't swim, so Esau he like playing with Negroes around that water. There have been quite a few mysterious drownings of our people being around a bunch of Edomites. They like playing around us with that water. That's why if you can learn how to swim, learn how to swim. If you can. They got the Ys and the YMCA, whatever, in your neighborhood. You might not want to get in the water with people. I don't know, but hey. You get somewhere private where you can get a swimming lesson on. Hey, do your thing. You gotta have a little bit of everything going on in these last days. Hit the like button, y'all. Let the viewers match the likes. Get them likes up. Like, share, and subscribe, please. Help me build my little channel up. I can go live more on here for y'all. Help me build my little channel up. All right. But I definitely want to talk about this NOLAN thing, and tonight is the closing of the new moon. So Yahushua said he coming to divide the nations. All right? He coming to divide the nation like it was from the beginning. Remember the Tower of Babel? Remember Moses said when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So just like it was meant from the beginning, yes, you gotta work in this world. You gotta survive in this world. We said I just ain't supposed to talk to thee. No, don't be simple. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Render unto the Most High is the Most High's. And we're gonna have to come together in righteousness as a people. The Lord gonna force us. Because when all hell break loose, who you gonna have? You can't go amongst them because they're going to be getting judged by the Most High. You get in the Most High way, he going to get you. All right, Sirach 6 and 13. And that's it. I'll close on that. Sirach 6 and 13. We got enough just to wet the whistle, so to speak, and get the gist of this topic. Sirach 6 and 13. Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friends. And like I said, that can be of our own nation too. I ain't finna be around all my people in these last days. Blessed on Esau and the other nations. A lot of these Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, I don't want to be around them. Shalom, Sister Carla. So the Lord says, separate from your enemies and cleave to your friends. That's even within the nation of Israel. Because we could be vicious to each other, man. Our people can be vicious to each other. There are times you can't even talk to our people. Got a chip on their shoulder. Black man is proud and arrogant. Ain't no nigga can tell me nothing. Black woman, oh, nigga, you don't pay my bills. The hell you do for me? Damn. It's sad, man. So I leave people alone, man. And we know it's the curses. We got a lot of anger and you know, these curses, man. And you're talking about over 500 years of conditioning and oppression built up on a people. So you got to have a lot of patience a lot of times too. You know, but the Lord said avoid it, man. A lot of our people, I leave them alone, man. These Negroes, they just angry, mad, upset. You look like me, you can't tell me a damn thing. Yeah. Yeah, the Moors were Israelites. Some of them converted to Islam. The trade to priest is not saying that we can't pray for vengeance. Who said we saying we can't pray for vengeance? He's just saying to know how to maneuver in Esau's. Yeah. I mean, that's common sense. You got to maneuver. You got to survive in his kingdom, you know. But you pray for vengeance as the Lord going to bring it. You pray for destruction as the Lord going to bring it. Like you might wake up and be like, well, Most High bless me throughout the day, bless me to get to work safely and get. You're praying that the Lord brings peace in this society so that you can function. But you also pray that if the Most High decide to bring judgment at any given moment, he's bringing a judgment according to his appointed time. So it's not a contradiction. It's just, hey, bless me to make it through this day. I got to go to my job. Hopefully everything is good. I get there safe. I get home safe. But if on your way to your job, it's a damn 9/11 style attack, then that's the Most High deciding to bring judgment at that moment. And he made sure you wasn't there by Shema Mashiach Yahushua. So it's a double-edged sword. Do you believe? Of course the race wars are getting hot. Anytime the black woman is shooting a damn white man because he rolled it up on her, yeah, it's getting hotter, brother. You know, that sister, she had to defend. Hey, she defended herself. Because this white boy was rolling up on her. She kept telling him to back up. And Florida is a stand your ground state. So yeah, it's getting hotter. And these white supremacists are getting bolder and bolder. Nolan Wells is just what it's other incidents. It's people being found hung. It's other people that drowned around Edomites. There's other incidents going on. It's just not getting a major media coverage. These white supremacists are getting bold, man. Look at the white supremacists put on full body armor and tried to shoot up a black family reunion. And the brother was a Marine. He went and got that thing and clapped them down and backed them down up off his family. All praises to that brother. And that got swept under the rug. I think they gave that Edomite bail too. He put on full body armor. He was not trying to he was going to try to take out as many of our people that he could. And they said it was like 20 children there. It was like 20 children there. And he was going to try to take out he was going to try to take out as many of the people that he can. So yeah, I mean, guns, brother, the weapons of wild warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh. I mean, if you want to take up arms to have a little physical protection, but we're really going to be protected by the Spirit of the Most High. Because Esau got all the guns in the world. You can stack up guns. Esau could drop a drone on, I know Israel, I always say this, Israel talk about land a lot. We need to get land. Listen, if the Most High not with you, Esau can send a drone to your land and destroy the whole thing. You can have 10,000 guns stocked up on that land. You can have your food, your water, your non-perishables, your survival kit, all that. Esau don't have to touch you. He could send a drone. He can bomb you like Black Wall Street. So stacking up guns, there's okay. You know what I'm saying? You know, certain states you got the right to bear arms, but a 40 cal cannot protect you from Esau if the Most High is not with you, bro. Esau will have you for breakfast. They got weapons we can't imagine. All right? The Most High told us to gather together and come out from among them, knowing that they were going to attack us. We separated. Can you talk about that and what our position should be? There's a video of an Edomite saying, yes, they drowned the brother because that's why what they do, take us out of, throw us in the water because they know we can't swim kind. Elder for Israel, you came on late. We've been talking about that. All right. We separate, first and foremost, we separate them spiritually first. All right, how do we separate from this system? By repenting and coming back to the laws of the Lord. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical thing. You got to separate in the mind and the spirit first. And as far as separating physically, there's really nowhere you can go on the planet Earth where Esau is not there or he can't get to you. Now, you can be off in a secluded place, but like I said, he could send a drone and get you. There's really nowhere you can go. This man covered the four corners of the earth. So I'm not against that, but physically separating, and I'm going to tell you straight up, most of Israel don't know how to do that. They don't. Most of Israel is full of sugar, honey, iced tea when it comes to this whole land, homestead. Most of them don't know what the hell they're doing. They're just talking because it sounds good. All these Israelites that talk about land, they don't know what the hell they doing, 90% of them. It might be a remnant of brothers and sisters that's really out there living on land that know what they're doing. Most of our people, even in the truth, they don't know nothing about dealing with no land. So as far as separating is the mind and the spirit first. Now, like I said, if you can physically separate all you want, you can physically separate, but there's nowhere on this earth where the so-called white man cannot get to you. So the separation has to be the mind and the spirit and the works, the keeping the commandments and separating spiritually. Physically, we can separate, but the Most High protect us. He keep us in a secluded place. Okay, fine. But if you going off and the spirit ain't with you, the Lord can have Esau find you. All right. Yeah, we're gonna lose a lot of people. A lot of our people gonna die in these race wars. 2/3 of them. Well, that's what we teach. We're gonna lose a lot of our people. The majority. The Lord said only a remnant. When you read Isaiah 10, the Most High said only a remnant of Israel is gonna be delivered. 1/3. A lot of our people going to be led to the slaughter. You know? So repent and keep the commandments. That's your protection. Remember when we was in Egypt? We was in Goshen. The Most High brought the 10 plagues on Egypt. And where we was at, we was chilling. We was right there. Psalms 91 said, 1,000 shall fall at your side, at your right hand, 10,000 at thy left. I'm paraphrasing. But none shall come near thee. So keep that in mind. The Lord can have you in the midst of destruction and you don't get touched. When it says gather ourselves together, gather ourselves mentally and spiritually together first. Gather under the Lord's statutes and commandments of the Bible. If we can gather somewhere physically, then fine. I'm just waiting for the Israelite to find a place. If there's an Israelite with the proper doctrine, not bugged out, that got a place for us, we can go. But the Lord can protect us wherever we at. It's spiritual first. When he said, gather ourselves together, gather ourselves in the spirit, come back to this truth, be on one accord. And that's why we tell the camps, stop bickering each other, be at peace with each other. If there's a difference in doctrine, if you're not going to come together and sit down and discuss it decently and in order and try to come to the same understanding, then say, hey, we respectfully disagree. Y'all brothers keep doing the work, though. We don't have to be against y'all and bash y'all. We don't have to make 1,000 videos trying to convince you to see the doctrine our way. And then talking crazy and being disrespectful and insulting and slandering because there's a difference in the teachings. We got to gather together in the spirit first and foremost. Physical gathering, wherever that may be, the Lord said we're going to be like pilgrims in these last days. I don't know. I was watching I Am Legend the other night. Maybe we're going to have a survivors compound somewhere. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But we got to gather together under the doctrine and the right mind frame first and foremost. You seen, yeah, when you buying land, you gotta do a soil test so you can see if you can go grow crops. It's a lot, man. You gotta get an irrigation system, all that. You gotta know what you're doing when you dealing with land. And a lot of Israel, no disrespect, they talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk. They don't know what they're doing. All right, so let me get a couple of new moon scriptures. I'm gonna close out. So yeah, watch that. If y'all haven't watched that interview with Nolan's his parents. Watch that interview with his parents on Good Morning America with Michael Strahan. I just think the interview was kind of weird. The mother was laughing. Then she was tearing. Then she kept cutting off Benjamin Crump. Then they don't have the same last name, Wells, as Nolan. Now I know your child can have a different, but usually the child at least have the last name of one of the parents. I don't know if Nolan is their stepchild. I don't know. It's just weird that they don't have the same last name. It just seemed weird. I don't know. It could be nothing, but you know, she was laughing and yeah, we can unite, brother, but that has to be done. Someone has to come up with the physical place to unite us. That's all I'm saying. And from what I've seen in Israel, I haven't seen that. You got all these brothers and sisters that talk about land and coming together and being on land, but it never really comes to fruition. That's all I'm saying. Somebody get this 2 million acres somewhere and we can all go. Right. Yahweh Shah said he coming like a thief in the night. Just make sure you're spiritually right. No matter what's going on physically, make sure you're spiritually right and keeping the commandments. That's going to be your main protection. Look at COVID. We was protected during COVID. You got to stay in your house. You got to go out and get your essentials. Yeah, Wells. Nolan Wells, his parents got a different name. Yeah, we would need like 10 camps. And certain camps do have land, but that's just for them and their congregation. They're not going to allow other camps to come on their land. There's a remnant of camps that do have land. All right. So Psalms 81. Psalm 81, 3 and 4. And it reads, blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the power of Jacob. So we have to come together on a new moon. It's a law. It's a commandment. It's required of us to come together and celebrate the new moon every month, which we at H.O.I, we keep the dark moon as the new moon. The replenished dark moon before it starts to grow. That's what we understand to be the new moon. Numbers 10 and 10. Also in the day of your gladness and in your solemn days and in the beginning of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your power. I am Yahweh, your power. All right, so the Most High just told us, he's reiterating, just come together for these new moons and keep these feast days. But I wanted to talk about Nolan Wells because this case is just crazy. And I just got some kind of connection, I feel, to Carmelo Anthony. But somebody put it could have been a false flag. But let me finish with the new moon. And we'll talk about Nolan Wells all night because it's hype, it's sensationalism. So we'll go all night talking about that. 2 Ezra 6 and 45. Upon the fourth day thou commandest that the sun should shine, and the moon give her light, and the stars should be in order, and gavest them a charge to do service unto man that was to be made. One of the services of the moon, right? Hold on, y'all. Let me get through the new moon scriptures. We'll get back to Nolan. All right. One of the purposes of the moon and the services of man is to determine times and feast days. Because of the start of the month from the dark moon, you calculate, like Passover, 14th day at even, which is the 15th day, the middle of the month. You get your Passover. That's why most of the time you'll have a full moon on the Passover. Because it's the middle of the month, it's going through that 2-week waxing gibbous where it waxes into the full moon. Now, some Israel think the full moon is the new moon. It makes more sense because it's light, whatever. Yahweh will tell us the right way once he returns. All right, but that's one of the services to men, along with other operations that the moon have, of course. All right, Luke 21:25. Now, I don't know if Nolan Wells is a false flag, but I'm going to read this right here. I don't know. I will have to dig into more research on that. That's really going into the conspiracy. I believe the brother's actually dead, and they killed them. They sacrificed them. It was a 250-year America semi-quincentennial blood sacrifice, revenge for Carmelo Anthony, and the white supremacists saying, listen, that purge is coming. I think they just getting straight up bold with it. But that's just me. That's just my little 2 cents in theory. Luke 21:25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. So these are all the things that prelude to Yahweh's second coming. So you're going to see distress of men on the earth. Now you got these Edomites trying to get on our good side. Yeah, I don't think Carmelo was guilty. White people are the problem in this country. Because a lot of them see the Most High is coming. The Most High is coming for that arse. Now they trying to get on our good side. And a lot of them could be phony as hell so we can put our guard down, but we don't trust your boy. But a lot of them, the Lord did say they're going to try to come cleaving unto us in the last days because they're going to see their kingdom falling. This thing going to have different layers and angles come to it. But this is all what we're going to see before Yahweh shall return with the mighty angels. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So we know that our kingdom is coming. These are signs. When these prophecies happen, these are signs on the earth. All right. Colossians 2:16 and 17. And we out. Of course, I was on here much longer than I wanted to be, but this stuff got to be brought out. And so like all the articles and YouTube videos, y'all can go look this stuff up. I was just giving it to y'all verbally, but go look it up. It's tons of articles, videos, news on this stuff. So go look it up. You'll get the updates or whatever the latest update they saying. But back to closing out the new moon. Colossians 2:16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in the respect of the holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days. And y'all better get with these feast days, man, in these last days. Y'all better get with them. Keeping these feasts, man, brings a lot of power and energy to the spirit, man. Especially coming together. Don't take the feast for granted, man. And if you can't get together, at least do it in your house. Brothers, man, if you teachers, do a live. Or do a sit down with you and your family. Or watch a live with you and your family. A lot of times the other brothers, the other states and cities will be on, so I'll just watch. You know, if we're not coming together, I'll make a meal or whatever for the new moon. We'll get together, make a meal in the house, and watch the brothers bring it out. Then I might go live later or the next day. Or sometimes I don't go live because brothers have 3-4 lives on. I'll be like, all right, that's enough edification. All right? Or it could never be enough. But it's like, you know, sometimes I watch my other brothers and I get edified from them. But do these feasts. And when you could come together, come together. All right? Don't just, you know, whatever, is Passover, whatever. It's new moon. I'll try to make it. Give your sincere effort. That's a form of gathering yourself together, O nation, not desired. All right? Which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of H.O.I. It's a shadow because the Most High want to see us make an effort. It's a shadow because H.O.I is going to be official when he makes his second coming. But make the effort. All right, to come together for these feast days. And you're rehearsing. Nobody could judge you. You do it in your home. You do it in your congregation. You do it with your brothers and sisters. You know, you be in a feast day with 200-300 people, 1,000 people. You know what I'm saying? Or you can do a feast day in your home with your family. Hell, when I lived by myself, I did feast days by myself. Well, I didn't have a congregation. I've been through many different stages in this truth. So yeah, I've been in Passovers with damn near 1,000 people. I've been in feast days where I just prayed and read some scriptures and did it by myself. We didn't have YouTube and stuff back then, so I had to do the best I could. So that's it. Any questions or comments? I've been on here way longer than I wanted to be. But I hope y'all got edified, man. I just want to talk to the family a little bit tonight. And the new moon has closed out, but so Wells is he's the stepson. Wells is the stepson. So is Nolan Wells a stepson? She's the Wansley. The people in Argentina of Indian descent, they would be Israelites from Naphtali. That's what we believe. I don't know. This Wells, y'all saying is married, maiden. I don't know. So Wells is her maiden name, and she got married to Wansley. So Wansley's not his father then. Because if that's his father, he would take his father's name. So she had him already, and then she got married to Wansley. Seed of David, Israel. That's a simple question, brother. Cut it out. Nah, I'm just messing with you, but come on. That's folly. Vocab Malone is too busy trying to discredit One West. That man is obsessed with discrediting One West. He ain't going to tell no Edomites nothing. But he got barked on by Haragaja about that slavery. Haragaja cut him with that scripture in Revelation 18. Vocab was finished. Yes, he is what? Is he the son of Wansley or is he the stepson? Not that it matters because, you know, he's their son either way. You know, you really only say step out of respect for the biological father. Khan, the APN? I don't know. I'll do more research. But either way, son, stepson, the Edomites killed the brother. Now, y'all say it could be a false flag. I don't know. There's no such thing as Negro Latinos. You got so-called Latinos with Negro features, but they would be from the tribe. They would be whatever tribe they from. Some people say I look like a Dominican in New York. Dominicans come up to me all the time speaking Spanish, but I tell them, no, I'm Moreno. I'm from the tribe of Judah. I'm just light-skinned. So you have Dominicans that look like me, but they're not Judah, they're Simeon. So it's just tribe. You got Puerto Ricans dark as Wesley Snipes. Speak Spanish from Puerto Rico. So they would be Ephraimites. They just dark-skinned Ephraimites. All the tribes come in different shades. Okay, so Wansley is the biological dad, but that doesn't make sense. Why didn't he give his son his name? They always killing Issachar. They hunger Issachar behind the jail in D.C. The brothers in H.O.I DMV did a pull-up for it. Oh, okay, maybe he was born before they got, but he still should have gave him his name. You my biological son once? I don't know, that's weird. Nah, you get all my children get my last name. Especially if I'm with the mother. Now, if I'm not with the mother, that's different. But if I'm with the mother, my children get my name. There's no such thing as African slaves. There was Israelites that was sold off the west coast of Africa. Some of them could be of Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, or they could be dark-skinned of the tribe they at. That's up to the Most High to figure out. The Most High will show us who's who, because you have different shades of brown. You got all the tribes got dark skin to light skin. Whether it's mixing with Esau or just that's how you came out. You know, I grew up with Puerto Ricans that look black. Especially in East New York, Brooklyn, we had a little bit of everything. So that's for the Most High to sift out. You'll rack your brain trying to figure out who exactly is what tribe. You know, there are people, Most High will. If the Most High have mercy on them, you know, they'll come into the fold. If there are a Hamite somehow that slipped in there, if there's some Hamites that slipped in there, they're not our people. The Olmecs was Issachar with Negro features. But when you look at a lot of the tribes, we do have similar features. It's not because your northern kingdom you know, you're going to look like Mark Anthony. You got Northern Kingdom that look like me. You got Northern Kingdom that's dark skinned. So the colorism has messed us up as a people. You know, so yeah, it's all the tribes. Some of the tribes have different features. I met an Issachar one time in Atlantic City. I thought she was a light-skinned Eve. I thought she was a light-skinned Judite. She was like, no, my mother and father is full-blooded Mexican from Mexico. You know, so it all depends. You know, it all depends. Yeah, Argentina, a lot of the Northern Kingdom is racist because some of them are Spaniards or they just got that hatred against Judah. The scriptures tell you that. But you can't, because of the, sometimes the Northern Kingdom have hatred against the Southern Kingdom. That don't mean they're Edomites. That's that curse. Niggas hate niggas too. Negroes dark as Wesley Snipes, both of them hate each other. So that means one is an African and one is a Judite? No. They both Judites or Benjamites or Levites or even Northern Kingdom. And they just have self-hatred. Your brother said Argentina is racist, but that don't mean that Israel is not still scattered down there also. Niggas is racist against each other. That thing about Hispanics are racist, so they not Israelites, that niggas hate each other. I saw that growing up. I tell you some of the stories of what I saw of so-called black people, Negroes, African Americans doing to each other growing up. We would say we're not the same people, the way we treated each other. Yeah, Amalek, a lot of so-called Jews moved to Argentina also. And Spaniards, and just like everywhere, they got different people. They mix in. Some of them are racist, some of them are inter-racist because there is the hatred amongst the nation. Then some of them are actually not our people, and it's in a spirit to hate us because we're not the same nation. We all hate each other. So I'm gonna say, oh, this black American, you know, sometimes to this day you go somewhere and your people treat you bad, but Esau come in, they start doing a goddamn cabbage patch. Or the Pee Wee Herman or whatever, the WAP, one of them old school dances. Or they do the Dougie Fresh with the Esau come in and they do the Dougie for Esau. I'm talking about Judite-owned businesses. Give you a nasty attitude, but let Esau come in there. They start doing the damn Pee Wee Herman, the WAP, the Smurf, whatever, all them damn old school dances. Y'all can't hear me? The mic is off. The running man, yeah. Gabar, can you hear me? Watchman is saying, Watchman Los Angeles saying they can't hear me. All right, that's it. We're going to close out. All right, so with that, Ashar Kadasha Rock, Happy New Brew, True Moon, all praise to the Most High Mashiach Yahushai. Stay the hell away from Esau and the other nations, especially by yourself. Well, y'all in the truth, y'all should definitely know that, man. Y'all should know that. But, I don't know, I put on my conspiracy hat for Nolan Wells. Was this get back for Carmelo Anthony? Was it just July 4th sacrifice? Just good old Esau, white supremacist racism. We're going to throw a nigga in the water because we know he can't swim. Or all of the above in one. By Shema Mashiach Yahushai. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. By Shema Mashiach Yahushai. Rest in power, Brother Nolan Wells. Vengeance will come from the Most High, but also is judgment. Our people, stay away from the so-called white man. You shouldn't be celebrating his 4th of July garbage holiday with him. Come out of her, my people, mentally and spiritually first. And if the Most High allow physically, he'll have us off somewhere dwelling to ourselves that we protected and secured from Esau and the mainland and the population, if it be the Most High will. But wherever we at, we want to be like Egypt. Wherever we at, we're protected, and the Most High bringing judgment everywhere else all around us. But none is touching those of his that are of the elect and protected by the Spirit and the angels. All right? By Shema Mashiach Yahushai. All right? Khan OG. So, Kwame Ashala, we still got next. Hallelujah. Elder, priest, brother Zabak, whatever respectful title you choose to bestow upon me, as long as it's in humility and sincerity and with respect. Again, Ashar Kadash Rock, happy new Brew moon, 5th month. H.O.I to them chariots fly, only screaming if you mean it. All the camps in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai throughout the 4 corners of the earth. Happy new moon, 5th month again. Remember Nolan Wells and all of our people that these devils are slaughtering and killing in these last days. And remember also the curses amongst ourselves, where we're killing and destroying each other. And repent and come out of all of that, and teach the rest of our people to repent and come out of all of that. By Shema Mashiach Yahushua. So with that, Shalom. Good. Kwam Yashala. Ashar Kadash Rock again. Happy new moon, 5th month. Shalom.